Music. What makes it so interesting that many study in college? Why do many of us listen to it every day? And how did it become an important part of video games? In this video, I aim to answer some of these questions and maybe help others understand why I love music and why it's important in many people's lives. You don't have to be a music scholar to understand what I will be talking about in this video. I won't be talking about music theory, but what I will be talking about is music in the context of video games. I recommend that before you watch this video, you should definitely first either play or understand these games: The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Let's start off with a simple tune that probably many of you already heard, but might not know where it is from. I want you to think about what kind of emotion and feeling this music brings out. Then, we will go over some of my answers and then reveal what this tune is from. The feeling of this music is of course very silly and mischievous. You may have more themes and emotions than me, but I kept it very simple. This song is from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and is the main theme of Groose, the school bully who's pretty much a Mega Chad. He thinks he's better than anybody else, tries to steal the spotlight, and also does things that are borderline illegal. But nothing turns out well for our friend, and he ends up being the side character in his main character world. The music corresponds to this character easily with the trombone glissando's very separated passage and major vibrato.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
I know I said you don't need to be a music scholar, but here are those musical terms I just spat out and their meanings. You probably already heard this song as it is extremely popular when it comes to making YouTube videos. I even used it myself. The music helps us understand the character that is Groose. Having a character theme is an important part of any game. It can help us understand what type of character the person is, build a mental image of how they speak, and overall tell us what kind of actions that they might take. For example, the Magma from Skyward Sword has a theme that shapes what kind of character they are. We don't have a grand amount of interaction with them, but as soon as the tune starts playing the first time we see them, we understand that they have a gang-type group. The dialogue helps us give a concrete answer as they talk very strangely and say they have a boss. The tune we just listened to probably doesn't prove a lot on why music is important to people, but it definitely helps us connect people that probably haven't played video games before or thought about music a lot. That is the main reason why I chose that song to begin with. Everyone would absolutely love to have a theme playing by their side at all times. No wonder we like listening to music while doing certain tasks. I, for one, even listen to music while making this script. Themes that correspond to characters bring out the character's personality, which is an important concept in any video game. Before we even see the character or read their dialogue, we can somewhat know what the character is like. We have main themes for Zelda, Link, and many other characters for any other game, and mostly these songs are occasionally the most popular tunes. Alright, we will now move on to our second game, which is Phoenix Wright, but I want to approach it very differently by just going over techniques that the game uses. Firstly, I want to talk about grand pauses. The game uses multiple pauses in music in order to make dialogue more impactful. For example, in the beginning of the clip, when Phoenix Wright objects, the music cuts out and he explains the situation. Then, as soon as he starts turning the character's words, a very shocking tune starts to play. If this grand pause didn't exist, well, the dialogue would have not been as impactful. Basically, silence in music is extremely important. It could make scenes more impactful through surprising the player, or just trying to make the player pay attention to dialogue a lot more. Not only that, grand pauses can do other things. For example, when Phoenix remembers that there is another photo that could prove to be great evidence, the music starts playing as soon as he notices that the prosecutor does not want the photo to be seen. Giving a suspenseful tune that pushes the player to have this photo seen. These games are very dialogue based and get heavily carried by the sound design that the developers have coordinated to a T. 1 second late or 1 second early can make less impact, or having no grand pause can make the game boring. This proves that music can make or break games, depending on how you wield it. A master can make any dialogue interesting if the music is used perfectly, while an amateur may be able to make a very interesting game, but can lose players as it gets boring and repetitive. Let's move on to a different area of music in video games. Also, we will now return to listening first, and then reflect. This song is quite different from the other tunes I played. It can bring out many emotions, seen as sad, inspirational, romantic, and maybe just make you feel something that you haven't felt before. This song is from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The context of the tune is a past memory of Mipha, a Zora girl who was chosen as one of the champions, and what we learn from the game is a childhood friend of Link. This song perfectly captures the relationship she has with Link and the tragedy of her death. If you didn't know, Mipha swore her life to protect him, signifying she was willing to spend her whole life with him. She would heal him no matter how deep the wound and no matter where he is. It is terrible to know that she sadly was killed by the Ganon Blight, and the tune captures the sorrow that Link, the Zoras, and many others may have felt knowing they couldn't save her. After defeating the Ganon Blight, you are granted Mipha's blessing, which gives you the power to cheat death once and gain health points. Even through death, she protects you, which I find very heartwarming. These moments are why I play video games, and why music is extremely important in games. It can make scenes more impactful and memorable. Trying to watch these scenes unfold without any type of music will make it seem out of place for the player, and for the most part would not grab the interest of the player. I'm glad that video games became a part of my life. I know I was going to enjoy lots of games the first time I picked up my DS and played Pokemon. If I could, I would make this video extremely long, as there is so much to talk about with music in video games. They make my day every day. If it's with a farming simulator, a military simulator, or a puzzle solving game, I will always come back to it when I'm not feeling myself. The music will not only make my experience better, but capture me into a spiral of love for the game. Music can make or break this form of media, but I am simply glad that many composers out there have fulfilled their job and even made hundreds to millions of people enjoy what they have made. No matter what video game or media out there, music is an essential part of everybody's life. It shapes you into the person you are today and gives you emotional feelings that you may just need. If it's to be courageous, or to be sad, or to be happy, music can make you feel like you matter in this world. And there you have it. This is why I find music to be important.
Need it.
Oh, does it need a
Finally,
thing?
we just started the game. We just started a game, bro.
We just started a game, bro.
Yeah, we just started a game, bro.
That's
we
what it
just
means
started
when
a
you're
bro.
late.
We just started a game, bro.
We just started a game,
Yeah, we just started a fucking game, dude.
Bro.
Okay.
Not my dog. Not my dog.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Dude, he ran. He ran.
Dude, wait, that was nuts.
Whoa! You guys went flying